this month we're going to have additional event that lots of people say it's important and it's also big. It's going to be influencing our lives, which is full moon in Scorpio. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure.
And what to do around that times too.
So this brings up the subject of like astrology, and it's important not to give your power away to the planets or to astrology reading or to psychics or any of that. The planetary outlook is like a weather forecast, you know. So we have a high front coming from the north, and we have low moist air in the south, and so and so, and so there's a 90% chance of rain. Well, I was planning a picnic outside this weekend. Maybe we should have it inside instead, you know. So it's not deterministic. It doesn't mean you have to change something radically, but it's good to know. It's just good to know that's kind of the weather that we may be experiencing. So the planets are the same way. They're symbolic of certain energies, and you can still act however you want, but you know it's going to feel different at that time. So we have major planetary configurations happening right now. And we had this solar eclipse, which, you know, some people were forecasting the end of the world or whatever, but that did not happen. But we did have some major confrontations taking place, military confrontations, but you know, it's not the end of the world. Now we have the full moon in Scorpio coming up on the 23rd, I believe, 23rd of April. And they call this the Wesak Full Moon. Now, some people celebrate that in May. That's more of like, it's not so much of a spiritual thing. That's more, the United Nations decreed that that would be when Wesak is celebrated. But the energy is the full moon in Scorpio.
Okay.
And that's when the sun is in Taurus, the moon is in Scorpio. And there are many other powerful planetary lineups happening at the same time. So what I have found in the past is in the 3 days leading up to the full moon in Scorpio is when the masters have a retreat and they work with their students. And sometimes they give you revelations, and don't expect this to be audible, that you're going to have the master whisper in your ear. It may come as an intuition, something like that. And it just tends to be a very high energy time. And so just if you can tune in the days leading up to that, it's sometimes you get insight into yourself, into your life, something like that, you know. But we do have these aspects. Jupiter conjunct Uranus and Taurus. Now, Taurus is a fixed earth sign, but Jupiter and Uranus together are very electric, high energy. So that's kind of like earthquake type of energy. Then you have, what is it, Mars, Neptune? I think we had Mars, Saturn, Mars, Neptune, and I have to check it out. But in Pisces, so that's, again, that's water, you know, like boiling water kind of thing. So that's sort of like volcanic energy. And there are volcanoes erupting now in Italy. As these planetary lineups started to happen, volcanoes in different places started erupting. The other major thing we're having, you have this full moon, which is going to be squared by Pluto, by 2 degrees Aquarius. that again is kind of revolutionary energy. Pluto is the underworld, like lava or terrorist activity, things like that. Pluto is revolutionary, bringing what is hidden to the surface. So this is a time in this full moon in Scorpio when a lot of hidden things are coming to the surface. It's a time of transformation and also time of self-realization when you can get in touch with your hidden power. So all these things have what could be interpreted negatively or positively. So this is a time when each individual can make tremendous breakthroughs.
Mm-hmm. So this is
I
a time.
prefer to see it positively,
Yeah.
but the people that can't use it positively may express it in a not so positive way, but that's their choice. And we have to trust that everyone who is living in a certain location is there by their choice, that is their karmic choice to be there at that time to learn what they need to learn. And we can still send love to them and bless them, send light to them. But the important thing, again, like as you said, to feel the self-love. When I say self-love, that's not love of your ego, that's love of the God self, which is anchored right in the center of your chest. Dear God, I love you. I know that I am you and you are me, and I'd like to feel your presence more fully. And I ask you to come through me so I can send love and light into the world and help my brothers and sisters. And I am grateful. It's very important to feel gratitude. I am grateful that I can be here now and that I can make a difference. I can make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I am making a difference. Like you gave me the choice, Peter, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this Zoom session this morning? And I went, well, I'm not totally sure I want to do it, but I said, well, better to err on the side of doing it. So I was not even sure it was going to happen, that you might be busy or like my neighbors were making too much noise, so I couldn't do it. But it seems to have happened. And I pray, I think we are making a difference for some people that watch this. So thank you for asking me to do it. See, you made a difference. This was your idea.
Thank you for sharing your wisdom. I appreciate that. And I do believe that it's going to help people. Thank you for sharing.
Pleasure. Well, thanks. It benefits me also because I get to affirm it's a meditation in action,
Mhm.
I think these thoughts inside, but to actually say them to another person amplifies it and brings it through me.
I have a question about you were saying something interesting that Ascended Masters will be gathering around full moon in Scorpio. Is there any ways that you should be connecting to them? Or if they need to, they will connect to you and you will know about it? Or can you do maybe specific meditation to hear them better or to connect to them, or it's not necessary? What do you think?
Well, the Ascended Masters have retreats at various times throughout the year.
Mhm.
And we always hear about the one New Year's Eve at the Tetons. But I know that they're having other retreats, and not just in the Tetons. There are other sacred mountains around the world, Mount Kailas, Mount Fujiyama, probably Popocatépetl in Mexico. There are many other sacred mountains where the masters have retreats, and they gather together and send light out to humanity, and they gather to go over the human situation and see what it is that they could do to help people. And they frequently will invite their students, their chelas, if not for the whole retreat, at least meet with them privately, even just for 10 seconds, to give you a little clue or guidance. And sometimes people actually hear it. It's more like, not like someone's talking in your ear, but you may have a dream where you're meeting with a master. More often for me, it's just I'll suddenly have a realization of some kind, you know? So I would say to meditate in the 3 days leading up to it, like 21st, 22nd, or 20th, 21st, 22nd, then Wesak is the 23rd, to still the mind so that you get your own personal drama out of the way, so you're receptive to this new energy.
Is there a specific meditation you recommend for that?
Well, there's always my favorite where it's called Shine, where you just watch the breath. Not watch it with your eyes, observe it inwardly, feel the in-breath and the out-breath. And you sit up, spine should be straight. And you can have your eyes open, looking down at the ground, or you can have your eyes closed. The tip of the tongue against the roof of the mouth helps. That closes the bioelectric circuit. And then you're basically observing in-breath, out-breath, in-breath, out-breath, or you feel rise and fall, rise and fall. And then a thought will come up, like, I wonder if there's any food in the refrigerator. And then you go, that's a thought, let it go, come back to the breath. Oh, I was supposed to phone so-and-so, I haven't done that yet. That's the thought. Let it go, come back to the breath. And it goes on and on like that. And that stills the mind. And it relaxes you. You feel very peaceful. Some people might do that for an hour, or maybe someone just for a minute. But the more you can do that, the more you slow the mind down, then you're receptive when a thought from a master comes through. You go, wow, that was not me. That was coming from Saint Germain or from Jesus or my I am presence, something like that. Then the next step is the Vipassana. The first part was Shine, that's the kind of relaxing, observing the thoughts. The Vipassana is like, what is the consciousness that's observing the thoughts? Like there's somebody watching me thinking. It's not my ego. There is a self that is observing the human self, that's observing the human mind. So you're observing the ego mind outside of it. And you start to become aware of that and let that expand. And you realize that sea of consciousness is everywhere. It's not just inside your brain, And that's when you start to tune into the cosmic mind, what they used to call cosmic consciousness. You realize that there is one mind that permeates creation, the mind of God, and you are that. You are one with that. But if you totally merged with that right at this instant, you would ascend, you would attain the rainbow body. So you stay in a sort of relative consciousness, where you can slice the bagel without cutting off your finger, but also be aware that you're God doing that and that you're connected with everybody. So that's what mastery is. Mastery is not just achieving enlightenment. Enlightenment is nice, but you were enlightened before you embodied. So, or many people were enlightened, came from a world of light. So being a master is beyond enlightenment. It's like having access to that unlimited consciousness, but also being able to function in the world, like to be in a relationship, to be a parent, to have a job. But to do that from the master consciousness, where you're not reacting to every stimulus that comes along. Where there's no like hidden agendas, or you're not reacting to your neighbors making noise, or you're not angry at some bill you got that is in error, that you're clear and can function as a loving, compassionate Christ presence in the world. These are the teachings that Saint Germain's picture is up here, that he gave. They didn't stress the meditation part so much, but he did give a beautiful meditation in Unveiled Mysteries, where you meditate on the light and expand that light out. That's another beautiful meditation. And that also benefits humanity. I am the Son of God radiating through the heart of humanity, the hearts of every human being. We can just see everybody light up like lights on a Christmas tree. Boom, what was that? Oh, I just felt the light of God in my heart. So Saint Germain gives that. It's in the first chapter of Unveiled Mysteries. And that's one of the most powerful meditations you can do, but it's very, very simple. Some people don't like it. It's so simple. They want something complicated, They want to pay, $1,000 for a weekend course in how to be a cosmic shaman. The truth is very simple, and the older I get, the more simple I see it is. Being able to observe who you really are, free from all the thoughts, free of ego, and to act in your life consciously and with love at all times. You don't need to worry about attaining the rainbow body or being in seventh heaven, or what. All that will come in time. But we're on the earth now. Let us be loving, compassionate, responsible human beings and help each other. I mean, the other day, a neighbor of mine that I hardly see knocked on my door and gave me a muffin she had baked. And it really brought tears to my eyes, because, they see me walking to the mailbox and coming back and so on, for months on end. We never talked. And just out of the goodness of her heart, she gave me one of the muffins she had baked, and I found that very touching. That was something so simple to do, but it had such a profound effect on me. We can all do things like that.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, thank you, Natalia.